continuing our search for the copper that's showing up on the ICP.
It appears that it's coming from the water vat this much and it kills everything. Oh my God. I can't believe what happened in here.
It's not very often Andrew and the Polo Reef team can't figure things out. With the brilliant minds on board, they're usually able to solve issues relatively quickly. But for the first time in a while, they're kind of scratching their heads. In case you missed it, in previous episodes, Andrew and the team discovered elevated levels of metals that showed up in some of the ICP tests. After changing the skimmer pumps and magnets that showed signs of wear and tear, the team did see some improvements, but they're still on the search for the overall culprit.
So today we're continuing our search for the copper that's showing up on the ICP that's moving from tank to tank. We are going to look at the heat exchanger on the saltwater mixing tower today. We're going to pull it out. We're going to pressurize it and see if there's any pinhole leaks in it and see if the copper is possibly coming from the boiler water. After that, we are going to look at the mixing pump too and just check the shaft on that as well.
Elevated levels of metals are never good for any reef system. Joe and John decide to begin their search starting with the large heat exchanger.
So we got the unit out. Now we're going to pull off the fittings from it. We're going to put on some test ports and pressurize it to like whatever the manufacturer recommended PSI is, 60, 70 pounds. And then we'll let that sit for a half hour and see if there's any holes in it.
While the team is working on hunting down metals inside, Alex the vet is outside working on his tan and also the championship koi.
So we're doing our fall examination of the fish. Every fish is getting pulled out, weighed, examined, scale scraped, and measuring the length for us to add to our database so Andrew can see every fish that's in the pond and all of their profiles.
Back in the lab, Joe and John are working together to disassemble the heat exchanger, then pressurize it to see if they can detect any leaks. If there are, it might be the culprit of the elevated metal levels. Fingers are crossed that they hopefully find something.
We are trying to track down slight elevation in a bunch of metals, and it appears that it's coming from the water vat, but it didn't come from our last test. So we're thinking maybe it's leaking as the water's getting older in the water vat. So the first check is these heat transfer units and the coils in here. We're gonna check the pump too.
Yeah, so we're going to
We had a really strange reading when we did a water change in this system here. That the ICP we took prior to the water change had significantly less metals than after the water change, which means it came from the vat. But when we tested the vat recently, we got clean readings pretty much, which means maybe the water wasn't in the vat long enough or the heat wasn't turned up. So we need to check this.
Or we're looking in the wrong spot altogether.
Or we're looking in the wrong spot altogether.
But it makes more sense.
But we're on it. We're hunting wabbit.
Joe and John get to work pressurizing the exchanger and letting it sit.
We charged it to 110 PSI with water. We purged out all the air, and now we set a timer for 30 minutes. We'll see if it drops when the timer goes off.
For now, the team will have to be patient. Back outside, Alex and Max are hard at work, scraping, weighing, and measuring the championship koi to add to the catalog. If you can't tell, this isn't their first koi rodeo, and they have developed a unique system that allows them to get through the koi with ease. Meanwhile, down in the sub-basement, the hunt for the metals continues. While the heat exchanger is being pressurized, they decide to check some of the pumps for any signs of wear or leaks that may be contributing to their issue. Unlike the heat exchanger, this pump is a little easier to inspect.
On our quest for copper, we're going to look in the pump and see if the shaft is corroded or not.
They quickly disassemble the housing, do a visual inspection, and reassemble the unit.
Shaft is clean.
Unfortunately, it reveals no issues and can be crossed off the metals investigators list. With the pump coming up clean, they decide to head to the next possible culprit. So far, John and Joe haven't found any signs of metals, so they decide to relieve some stress by heading outside to check on Alex the vet and the championship koi. The koi pond is a great place to decompress and relax, but these two, they can't sit still and offer to lend a helping hand.
The gray one. Yeah,
This one?
Yeah.
Easy. Oh, Johnny. I fumbled it. I don't even know which one it is now. Oh, Johnny.
It's best to leave the koi wrangling to the experts. John and Joe decide to head back to the lab where they're able to contribute a lot more than trying out for the koi rodeo. They head back to check on the heat exchanger to see if the pressurization is holding.
As you can see by the gauge, the before and after, that it's still held at 110 psi, so there's no leaks in the heat exchanger. As far as the pump downstairs, everything looks clean and all. The shaft seal has a little damage to it, so we're going to replace it, but it's not the source of our copper, either of them. There is no leak in it, so we're going to reinstall it and keep on our quest.
With no signs of a leak with the exchanger and the pump in the sub-basement clear, they continue their metals hunt, and it's only becoming more mysterious.
Alrighty.
In case you missed it, in the previous episode, Andrew, John, and Joe worked on blending the lights on the 280s while working on getting to the bottom of the high metals issues. Well, it seems the combination, it didn't sit too well, and unfortunately, some of the coral died in the 280s as a result. Both of these tanks hold pound for pound some of the rarest coral at Polo Reef. This is a huge loss.
Oh my God. Look what happened. I can't believe what happened in here.
The combination between the high metals hunt and changing the lights started to take its toll. It goes to show that coral are fragile animals, and the slightest imperfections can really harm them.
Oh my God. I tinkered with the lighting. Why do I tinker? Okay.
Sometimes tinkering doesn't pay off, even at Polo Reef. In this hobby, we sometimes make mistakes. It's important to take lessons from everything and not make them again. Andrew is a bit of a perfectionist when it comes to reefing, and this time, it didn't pay off. After beating himself up a bit, he shakes it off and has the team remove the new lights they installed. For now, they'll go back to stabilizing the lights while they continue their hunt for the high metals. Last episode marked a historic moment for Polo Reef. Patty dove in and began pulling larger colonies out of the tank to start fragging them. During this process, some of the frags collected were inspected and showed signs of red bugs. This is never good and caused the team to begin chatting about how to approach the problem. Where there's one red bug, there's usually many. Here's Alex the vet to explain more.
Today we're going to be treating some acropora red bugs on these acropora colonies. They do have red bugs that we pulled out of the 17,000. We're experimenting with a new medication called moxidectin. It's a derivative of a macrocytic lactone, same type of drug medication as mibomycin oxamine. This type of medication.
Wait. Are you talking to the camera right now? Do you guys understand him? Because I didn't understand one word he said. In layman terms, tell him about the red bugs and that they come on corals and they're not that big a deal, but they're an irritant.
So in terms of corals, red bugs are one of the most common pests we see on acropora. Fortunately, they're nice and easy to get rid of. In the past, we've used mibomycin oxamine,
which is
it's a medication that's commonly used to treat heartworm in dogs and other parasitic infections in dogs. We're only using a very, very small quantity to treat even these larger systems. So we're trying a new medication that's also more soluble in the solution or in the tank. It's extremely potent compared to the mibomycin oxamine. It's about 50 to 100 times the strength. So we're only using a very, very small quantity to treat this entire system.
Sounds like that medication's got with a skull with triple X on it.
Yeah, no, it's extremely potent. And again, it's never been used in reef systems, so there's no resistance to it.
Will it work in the 17,000?
That's to be seen. Again, small scale first and work our way up.
The team is always looking for new ways to treat issues and push the hobby forward. It's trials like these that can revolutionize the treatment of pests moving forward.
5 mil.
A syringe like this.
Yes.
4 to 5.
No, 4.6, not even 5.
Right there. Right there.
Yeah.
That treats the whole 17,000 for one dose.
It should.
This much, and it kills everything. A lot of bugs it kills. You can use it maybe as a dip. There's a lot of cool things potentially.
With the pin drop treatment working in the quarantine, a much larger project is taking place in the sub-basement. Joe and John are reassembling the heat exchanger and the pump. However, during the installation, they turn the pump on and quickly realize that there's a leak where the two connect.
So everything went good downstairs. We put the new seal in the pump. It's running now. There was a leak in the union, but Joe climbed up there and fixed it, and everything seems to be good now. It just needed to be tightened up there.
The hunt for the metals continues. Andrew and the team will now send water samples for ICP tests. The first test will be mixed saltwater, and the second test will consist of mixed saltwater and all of the additives. The idea is to see if the salt or additives are causing the high metal levels. This team always thinks ahead when it comes to troubleshooting.
96.
They prepare the first sample, which contains straight mixed saltwater. Next will contain saltwater mixed with extra trace elements. Sounds simple, but the calculations can get a little difficult, as these two are about to find out.
So you want me to add fluoride 0.0325? What is that?
mLs. We don't use OZs here, ask Gelson.
0.0325. So not even a 1?
Not even a half.
So I should sneeze and hopefully it comes out of me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I need help.
After some quick math, Joe gets his calculations and mixes the samples. Max is ready to collect them and get them sent out right away. With the day winding down, John and Joe tackle one last task. Because of the sheer amount of water moved through the RODI, the team needs to change the filters and membranes more often than a traditional one. This particular unit is capable of producing 10,000 gallons of water per day. In case you're wondering, an RODI, or reverse osmosis deionizer, is responsible for purifying tap water by removing metals, contaminants, and other impurities that could harm fish and coral. At-home units are relatively small, but here at Polo Reef, everything is built on a much larger scale.
We changed the sediment block and the carbon block here, which are the pre-filters on the RO. We also changed the membranes here at Polo Reef, the 4 that we have.
Wait. What do you mean by membrane?
The membrane is the heart and soul of the RO. It's like the backbone.
But I have an RDI, and of course it's way smaller, but I never thought, where is the membrane? Like, how does it look?
So,
You know?
Polo Reef membranes, the average hobbyist membrane.
Oh, wait, so this is the one that goes on top.
Yeah.
So should I change these like once a year, 6 months?
So it depends on your water and how diligent you are on changing your sediment and carbon block. So do you want to see the flow rate between a 75 gallon a day unit and an 8,000 gallon a day unit?
Oh, totally. Let's go for it. Let's do it.
Okay. So here, Patty, is the 75 gallon a day unit.
That sounds about right. Yeah, that's kind of how it looks on mine.
And now let's take a look at the bigger one.
Oh, wow. Whoa. That's a lot of pressure. My goodness. That is nothing compared to mine. I can feel that in like...
What are you guys doing?
Oh.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry.
Holy cow, I gotta go change.
Oh my goodness.
Back in the lab, Max gets the ICPs all wrapped up and ready to ship. Here's to hoping these come back clean.
Yeah, so everything's packed up. Now I'm just gonna log it into ICP system or Moonshiner system and then get it sent out.
This ICP test will make its way all the way to Austria, making one pit stop in Texas and arriving a couple days later at the testing facility. Why Austria? Well, there aren't a lot of mass spec machines here in the United States that can test saltwater elements all the way down to the parts per billion. This testing facility is reliable, and the turnaround time is really not that bad. The team will generally get results back within a week's time. Today didn't end with all the answers, but it did end with progress. The team ruled out leaks and asked new questions that might point them toward the real cause. That's how Polo Reef moves forward, one problem at a time, one test at a time. Some days it's breakthroughs, other days it's just eliminating what isn't the issue. But that's still progress. Tomorrow, there'll be new data, new theories, and probably a few more surprises along the way. Stay tuned for future episodes where the team continues their hunt for metals. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell to stay updated on everything Polo Reef. Until next time.